So the APC is threatening you in River State?
It's a threat.
To you?
Yes, it's a threat.
Supporting the APC?
No, listen, no. You have to face reality.
There's a saying that the king who builds his throne on the bones of others should never sleep too soundly. Wike is learning this lesson the hard way, and the entire nation is watching him scream. This clip of Wike just revealed what we've never seen of him before. Wike, the master of political bravado, the man who never shows weakness, the fighter who never admits defeat, finally let the mask slip. He's now admitting that the APC is a threat to him. The All Progressives Congress, the party whose government he serves, whose president gave him his current position, whose resources and connections he's leveraged for nearly 2 years, is now a threat to him. This isn't political spin. This isn't strategic positioning. This is a man acknowledging publicly that the people who are supposed to be his allies are working to destroy him. And this clearly shows that all is not well between Wike and Bola Tinubu. The first sign that something had gone terribly, irreversibly wrong between Wike and Tinubu came when President Tinubu touched down on Nigerian soil after his foreign trip. In normal times, this would have been Wike's moment to shine. The FCT minister would have been at the airport to welcome him. But this time, silence, absence, invisibility. Wike was nowhere to be found. Not at the airport with the delegation of ministers and party officials. Not in the photographs that circulated on social media. Not even a press statement welcoming the president back. For a man who's made visibility his religion, who's turned every public appearance into a demonstration of his relevance, this absence spoke volumes. The All Progressives Congress has distanced themselves from Wike. They've drawn a line in the sand, set it on fire, and dared him to cross it. The message from the party's national chairman landed like a bomb in the political landscape. No one who is not a card-carrying member of the APC will be allowed to hold a cabinet position in this administration. The words were measured, but the meaning was brutal. The implications were devastating. And everyone knew exactly who they were talking about, the PDP chieftain who crossed over to serve in an APC government. The man who thought he could have his cake, eat it, and still demand more cake. The politician who believed his usefulness to Tinubu would protect him from the consequences of his dual loyalty. But here's what makes this development particularly painful for Wike. He cannot simply decamp to the APC. Not anymore. Not after everything that's happened. Joining the APC now would mean surrendering completely to people who want to destroy him. It would mean placing himself under the authority of governors and party officials who've made it their personal mission to clip his wings. To understand Wike's ordeal properly, you must first understand how Siminalayi FUBARA became governor of River State, and why that choice has come to haunt Wike like a ghost that refuses to rest. When Wike was preparing to leave office as governor in 2023, he faced a critical decision. Who would succeed him? Who would continue his legacy? Who would protect his interests, manage his investments, and ensure that Wike remained the godfather of River State politics, even from Abuja? The options were many. River State is filled with ambitious politicians, experienced administrators, and worthy individuals who would have given anything for Wike's blessing. But Wike didn't want ambition. He didn't want experience. He didn't want strength. Wike wanted a puppet, and he thought he'd found one in Siminalayi FUBARA. On paper, FUBARA was the perfect candidate. He was quiet, reserved, unassuming. In Wike's calculation, FUBARA was the ultimate yes man, a governor who would govern in name while Wike pulled all the strings from behind the curtain. The plan was elegant in its simplicity. Wike would move to Abuja as FCT minister, accumulate federal power and resources. FUBARA would stay in Port Harcourt, doing exactly as he was told. Between the two of them, Wike would control both the federal capital and one of Nigeria's wealthiest states, a political empire stretching from the Atlantic coast to the heart of Abuja. There was just one problem. FUBARA didn't get the memo. You all know what happened. FUBARA rebelled. He was threatened with impeachment. Then the president intervened and removed him from office, declaring a state of emergency in River State. FUBARA was reinstated back in office after 6 months. To Wike, he'd succeeded in subduing FUBARA. Before we continue, This is a passionate appeal. Analytics from YouTube show that 96% of those who watch BrainSpot Media haven't subscribed to BrainSpot Media. When you subscribe and like this video, you help BrainSpot Media to grow and help this video reach a wider audience. Please like this video, subscribe, comment your thoughts, and share. Thank you. Let's continue. When a man is drowning, he'll grab any hand extended to him, even if that hand belongs to his enemy's enemies. FUBARA understood something crucial. He couldn't survive Wike's onslaught alone. The PDP in River State was divided, with many of the party structures still loyal to Wike. The resources at FUBARA's disposal, while significant, were no match for the combination of Wike's personal wealth, federal connections, and political machinery. He needed allies, powerful allies, and he found them in the most unexpected place, the All Progressives Congress. The APC had every reason to embrace FUBARA. River State, with its massive oil wealth and strategic importance, had been a PDP stronghold for as long as anyone could remember. The APC had tried and failed multiple times to break through. Wike himself had been the wall that kept them out, deploying every legal, political, and sometimes questionable tactic to ensure the APC never gained a foothold. But now that same Wike was weakened, distracted, fighting a war on multiple fronts, and his own godson was offering to open the gate, FUBARA opened the door for the APC to come into River State. He defected to the APC. FUBARA's defection to the APC was a masterstroke. In one move, he accomplished several objectives. First, he gained protection. Second, he gained legitimacy. Third, he gave the APC what they wanted. Fourth, FUBARA's defection to the APC was a perfect opportunity for everyone involved in the APC, including the president. Wike understands the game. He understands that the moment FUBARA moved to APC, everything he built crumbled. Now, let me explain something to you. Wike has always been a dominant force in Southern politics. His resources, his aggression, his willingness to take on everyone and anyone made him impossible to ignore. When Wike spoke, people listened, even if they hated what he was saying. When Wike moved, the political landscape shifted. Since he joined the APC, you hardly hear of any other politician in the APC except Wike. He seems to be sidelining every other politician in the APC. Wike was a threat to their political careers. While Wike was having issues with his godson, Simonalai FUBARA, they saw it as an opportunity to clip Wike's wings and destroy his dominance. And one of them was Hope Uzodinma. Wike's dominance wasn't just annoying, it was threatening to Hope. Every headline Wike grabbed was a headline Hope didn't get. Every political move Wike made was a move that overshadowed others. Every alliance Wike built was an alliance that could potentially be used against Hope. Hope was very instrumental in facilitating FUBARA's defection to the APC against Wike's agreement. That defection is what has completely rattled Wike, and he believes that the president is suddenly behind FUBARA's defection to the APC. That's why he sees the president and the APC as a threat. Wike believed that a single word from the president could end all these attacks, scatter every coalition that FUBARA is building, and restore Wike to favor. That word from the president has not come, and it will not come, because Wike violated the most fundamental rule of serving Tinubu: never, ever, under any circumstances, become bigger than the boss. To understand this, you must understand Tinubu's history. You must understand what happened to Akinwunmi Ambode. You must understand the curious exile of Babatunde Fashola. You must understand that Tinubu has never, in his entire political career, tolerated anyone who's threatened to overshadow him. From the moment Wike became FCT minister, he operated as if he were the main character in Nigeria's political drama. Every road he built was announced with fanfare. Every demolition was televised. Every political statement was designed to command headlines. Wike was everywhere, on television defending the government more aggressively than the government spokesperson, on social media providing content for both supporters and critics, in newspapers, in magazines, in every possible media outlet. Always available for a quote, always ready with a controversial statement. He became, in many ways, the most visible figure in Tinubu's administration, more visible than the president himself. That was a catastrophic miscalculation. Tinubu didn't bring Wike into his administration to create a rival power center. He brought Wike to neutralize a potential opponent, to gain access to PDP networks, and to demonstrate the broad-based appeal of his government. Wike was supposed to be useful, not important. Visible, but not dominant. Present, but not presidential. Instead, Wike acted like he was the co-president. He interfered in state politics far beyond rivers. He made pronouncements on national issues as if he were the administration's chief spokesperson. He built a profile that began to rival the president in terms of media coverage and political commentary. Every time Wike's name appeared in headlines, alarm bells rang in the villa. Every time Wike commanded attention that should have gone to the president or the party, notes were being taken. Every time Wike demonstrated his power, his wealth, his independence, the countdown to his destruction advanced by another day. Now, this is the reason why Wike seems to be failing in every attempt to bring FUBARA down and gain more control in river state politics, because FUBARA is getting support and backing from the presidency. And Wike knows that his time is up. That's why he feels threatened. He doesn't only feel threatened, he feels alone. He feels left out. He feels that everything he's built has come crashing down. The coalition against him includes federal forces, state governors, party officials, and his own former godson. The resources being deployed to destroy him dwarf what he can muster in response. The timeline is working against him, with every passing day strengthening his enemies and weakening his position. Wike has built his career on being the most aggressive, the most resourceful, the most ruthless player in the game. Now he's facing opponents who've learned from his methods and are using them against him. The hunter has become the hunted. The godfather is being godfathered. The man who never lost is learning what defeat feels like. They say in Nigerian politics, what goes around comes around. Wike spent years destroying political opponents without mercy. He humiliated godfathers who stood in his way. He crushed alliances and ended careers with the wave of a hand. Now it's his turn. The question isn't whether Wike will be diminished. That's already happening. The question is how far he'll fall, how much he'll lose, and whether anything will be left when the dust settles. The game continues, but for Wike, the rules have changed. The board has shifted, and the player who once dominated every match is now fighting just to stay in the game. And in the end, Wike's greatest enemy wasn't FUBARA. It wasn't Hope Uzodinma. It wasn't even Tinubu. It was his own belief that he was untouchable, that he was special, that the rules that apply to everyone else didn't apply to him. They do. They always did. And now he's learning that lesson the hardest way possible. I'm Brainspot Media. Stay informed, stay ready, stay vigilant. If you like this video, please help Brainspot Media to grow and reach a wider audience. Subscribe to this channel. Turn on the notification bell. Smash the like button. Comment your thoughts and share this video. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.